ETF is actually has problems dealing with this, certainly.
Yep.
And so we'll see if Aaron is able to sort of get out a solid enough defense before Max can get it fully online.
Yep. So hopefully with this opening hand, we can get an idea of what we're looking at here. All I saw was a sure gamble and I think a levy, and that was kind of it.
And then on the other side, advanced assembly lines, Jackson, ABT, ice of some sort.
Yep, and I'm not sure what that last one was.
I did not even see what that ice was. So we're trying to deal with this. I don't know if you guys are all hearing this on stream. We recognize there's some static going on. We'll see what we can do about it, if anything.
Okay.
But it might just be, I don't know, some interference of some sort. But
all right, we're back.
So Eric is going to. I'm confused as to whether or not he's playing both of those cards. Is that a daily cast?
I think he went install.
Well, Aaron
did.
did.
Oh, okay.
But I'm confused as to. Oh, these are the max mills,
Right,
obviously.
yep.
That's how max works, guys.
Yes.
Mill 2, draw 1. I know how to play Netrunner, I swear.
I know we've both been out of it for a while. You know.
But that's pretty elementary. Okay, so now he's got a siphon in hand. That beautiful World Championship alt-art siphon.
Siphon.
He's deciding what to do. There we go. He's just going to do it.
He's just going to blind siphon here. I guess he just really wants to control the options here.
Quicksand, that's what it was. Okay, very interesting.
So that's actually not terrible, assuming we're seeing a DLR simply because of how frequently they siphon.
Right.
And a lot of these don't really run Parasite, so
because they can't afford
it's going to get big.
I think that's a case where the MWL worked pretty well.
I absolutely agree. I think, and I know there's some mention of, obviously people have heard the scoops, the rumors about Core 2.0, and it's one of those cards I think would be good to get rid of. Because it really limits a lot of the cards that people are playing, a lot of the low-strength cards that people are playing.
And just have to deal with a noise rework of some sort.
Right.
But,
or maybe for lucky, they just get ridiculous.
Oh, get out of here. Yeah, so Black Orchestra and Paperclip in the bin off of that inject. It's pretty good, pretty helpful for Eric to see those.
So Aaron really trying to rush whatever is back there. I mean, he planned out his turn perfectly well. He knew exactly how many credits he needed to res everything, and still have the ability, but there we go. So
can't pop it on the run.
You can't pop it on the run. You got to pop it before. Yep. But that's still. I mean,
still good value. It cost him a run. He installed Paperclip. He's down to 4 credits.
Yep.
So Eric, that's his turn, I believe. Yeah. Aaron, draw, click 1.
Is that? So that's an ABT.
I guess.
Oh, it's interesting. He's really challenging.
Yeah, he's really not afraid of it.
No. Some in-your-face kind of play.
He's going to force Max to go back in, and I guess on the flip side, you have to assume if you're Eric, he's not going to put an agenda in there because obviously he can get in. So some mind game's going on. I like it.
Netrunner.
Yeah.
Netrunner.
It's almost like he's playing a Jinteki ID or something. Yeah, come and check, man. I dare you.
Let's see what you got. Come on. So, I guess if you're Eric, one credit isn't, terrible just to see what it is, make sure there's nothing, no shenanigans going on there. You could easily throw down the scrubber if you're really afraid of something. But, I think as a player, I have no reason not to go check it.
Yeah. And he's going through some mental math here for something.
So, all right, he's going for the inject
again.
So he's digging for his pieces.
I still don't know what that is.
I believe that's a paparazzi.
Ah, paparazzi, okay.
Which he's not going to need in this matchup.
Yeah, not at all. Well, unless he needs attack source.
I suppose that's true.
Which, at this point, with the quicksand,
the quicksand might keep him out there.
Might give him some trouble. Fall guy.
Fall guy. So it looks like he's going to let.
And then last, so.
Yep. Yeah, he let it go.
Wow, Aaron.
Wow.
With the
100%. 100%. He's just, he's like, I don't care. I don't care.
If Max keeps running, she's not going to be able to set up. I think he knew that.
Yep.
It's pretty smart.
So there you go. And last pick taking a credit. So, wow. So Aaron is going to sneak one out here. I think he's hoping that, I wonder if that's an ABT. Maybe he'll try and fire it.
He's not going to be happy seeing that ice, which
he's
like a Hadrian's wall.
Wow, that's is that a? No, that's a Kronos.
Not an ABT. Yeah, that's Kronos.
It's an interesting. I wonder if he's running 2.
Yeah.
So shutting down here, like, I don't know that he really hit a whole lot.
He had a Black Orchestra, which I think it would have been much bigger if he'd hit after this.
That FAM would have been massive, absolutely.
And frankly, he maybe could have left that server left it alone unresed in there at that point.
Because Eric didn't seem to have any interest in running it. And
if he leaves it in there, maybe representing Breaker Bay, or an Ash, Eric might go and get. But
anything, I mean, a Caprice.
But at this point, he doesn't think it's an agenda, so it's maybe a 50-50.
So, I mean, he did hit a Siphon. I mean, it would have been nice if he could have hit the second one.
He hit a DLR as well.
Yep, which is still good. So, I mean, nothing, not the best, but, I mean, there's some cards
there's certainly value. I mean, it's never bad to score a point and take away a portion of your opponent's stack.
Exactly.
So, I'll be happy about that. Eric, similarly, not going to be super torn up about it. He just knows he's going to have to, find a way to deal without those cards.
Right. So, but I think Aaron's on kind of the play you need to. Against DLR, you really got to kind of force and rush things out because you can't play the late game against these guys. It's too hard, especially once they have the ability to consistently siphon you and keep you poor. Right. It's too hard to come back because you're clicking constantly for credits, and by the time you get enough to sure gamble, then you're getting siphoned again anyways. So it's just kind of a constant uphill losing battle is how these decks really control you.
Right, and so I think losing that siphon maybe takes some of that control away from Eric, and I guess the real question here is, does he have a second Koge Breaker?
Right.
And then if he does, he's got to find it if necessary, but also then find a different way to apply pressure. If he's got to hit R&D more now, if he has to use Paparazzi, for instance, to get that tag and just start milling hardcore. Well, but he's going to have to be more interactive. He can't just afford to mill now. He can't, because he's not going to be able to keep Aaron off money.
Right. And now playing, that one Cronus, Eric's got to think, any card that's down there, is that another Cronus? Do I have to worry? Do I have to spend my click and my credit every turn to constantly check what is in that server?
And so we see the scrubber for that very reason.
Yep.
So he'll see a Sansan City Grid, and I think you trash this here. I know it puts you down to 1 credit, but I think at this point you've seen Aaron's willingness to force stuff out.
Well, it is. I mean, you got to look at it too. He's thinking, he's only on 4 credits. He's not going to be able to use it next turn. Do I need to do it right now? But I agree. I don't know that there's a reason not to, because eventually you're going to have to go back in anyways. You're costing another credit to get in there. Plus, potentially he puts another ice in front of him, then you can't even get in later.
Well, and at that point, are you going back in there because he's already rezzed it and used it?
Right.
You don't really want that to be the case.
Right.
I think. And in HB, that's a pretty big splash. He's probably only earning 1 of, probably. So I think it's worth it to get rid of.
Yep, I agree. So yeah, absolutely. This is definitely what you got to do. So.
And 1 click left. Be hard pressed to imagine he does anything other than game money.
Yep. I think that's fine.
So 2 ABTs in hand for Aaron. He has a Biotic, but he doesn't have the money for it all. Well, speaking of which,
there you go. There's some credits.
I would have to think it's a blue level and maybe install Jackson.
I think that'd be fine.
And then if he runs Jackson, that's fine. You're getting back a blue level of Sansan and advance assembly lines.
I know the hard part is facing DLR, you want to save your Jacksons for those agenda drills later in the game. The earlier you use your Jacksons, the harder it is. The harder the game gets for you later on.
Yeah,
I mean, you watched that yesterday. CTM having to burn 2 early Jacksons.
And something I didn't notice.
Oh, the Hacktivist.
The Hacktivist that has been played. Yep. So that would be another reason not to drop Jackson.
Right.
You don't want to end up rezzing him and dropping an ABT into the bin. Although, if you're rezzing him to pop him, then it's less of an issue.
Right. Because if you're popping it, even if you have to discard the random card, you could just Jackson it back in.
But I think at this point, we see Aaron on 6 credits. That's exactly what you need to fire an ABT.
Yep.
And he might even fire it at that point. I think that's pretty risky against a max DLR.
I agree. Usually fast advance decks tend to play at the lower end of the ice. HV is more prone to like 15 ice in a fast advance versus the standard. We've seen as low as 8 or 9 in an NBN deck, but usually more like 11 or 12.
And he's playing pretty low strength, low cost ice from what we can tell. So my guess is he's again on the lower end. But if he is playing 15 or more, he's only seen a third of his ice. So I think it's a decision that he could maybe make. But with DLR installed now at this point, I think you definitely would not fire it.
Right. I think with Hacktivist out, I think scoring it out just to get rid of it, I think is fine.
Yeah. Of course, that leaves 1 0 credits.
Right.
But he has the ice in front of HQ res, and DLR's already installed. So I think. But with Wireless Net Pavilion and 2 Fall Guys now, that might change.
It's tough. I mean, it's going to be difficult for him with 6 credits to ever get through. All of that to be able to trash that DLR. And fast effects usually don't play super rich. Right. They just need enough to fast advance. They tend to go broke. or even trashing all that means you don't have the money to fast advance anything, which just slows you down again.
So instead what he's going to do is he's going to rush, but he's going to keep money, res ice, and force Eric to come address that remote server before he can DLR.
Right. So, it's possible it's Enigma, or, any code gate that just, knowing that he shut down, got rid of that Black Orchestra, he's thinking that I'm pretty safe here trying to score up behind this ice here. So Eric, I think Eric's really kind of thinking what he wants to do. Does he want to go in there? Yep, and there he goes. So I guess we're going to see.
Yep.
Oh, so it's an architect. Interesting.
Well, but that's fine too, right?
Yep. We get the shot to see what's up there. Ooh, I like that virtual wombat.
Interesting. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's going to lose a credit to break the vanilla, so we won't have 5 to trash it. So that's actually, actually that's probably not what you want to install there.
That's what he's going to put in.
He's going to do it anyways. Again, I don't know.
He'll get a credit here to go up to 4.
I don't know if Aaron realizes he's not going to have a credit to be able to trash it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
he's gonna use it to discard the ABC.
Yep. I think that's an obvious signal to Eric, though. If he really wants to, he can go.
Yeah, and then he'll use Architect to install the Jackson from hand.
Yep.
So it's safe.
Yep.
I like that play. I'm okay with that.
That's very well thought out. I don't think there are a lot of players, that are going to see that kind of ability to do that. The interaction with being able to install the Jackson. So.
And Eric's just going to jack out here. Now he has to decide whether or not he wants to force the Jackson pop to go, which I think has some value here. You run Archives, force Jackson to pop, which also mills another card from Aaron's hand.
Now, if you're Aaron, I mean, you might be worrying about Rumor Mill hitting the table. I don't know. It's 2 points, so it's not, it's not a lot. But obviously, in a lot of these decks are running Rumor Mill specifically to prevent the Jacksons from being able to put everything back.
So I was a little surprised actually to see him not
immediately fire.
Ooh, and he hits the biotic, so that's actually kind of impactful. I think he takes back the biotic, the agenda. Ooh,
yep.
And the Sansan.
I don't know. It's a lot to rest.
I think it's your win condition. But yeah, right now you have 4 credits. It feels like the advanced assembly lines might be more valuable.
Right.
But again, maybe he's running reclamation order.
Right. Maybe he's only running one, so he really needs it back in his deck. But I like to think a lot of these decks use some kind of recursion, whether it be archive memories or reclamation order. Because
reclamation for advanced assembly lines turns out it's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It's not terrible. But even getting back biotic, because a lot of these decks they can get to 6 really easily.
Right. It's that 7th point.
Yep, gets that last point that's really difficult.
Yeah, we spoke with Aaron Andrews, who you guys may have seen yesterday in the top 16, one of our 2 Shaper hoax.
Yep.
He today is playing with the domestic sleepers in it.
He is.
And
just for that exact reason, as you mentioned, 6 is easy, 7 is really
and
hard.
as you may have seen in my game just now against Dick, it can be hard for HB to score out, even with biotics. So sometimes getting that 1 score out is pretty impactful. So. Yeah, so don't, put the vape pens down, guys.
You can wait. You can wait.
Yeah, it's okay. Take a step outside. It's beautiful weather out there.
Yep. Oh, it's fantastic outside. This is incredible for this time. We're in Minnesota and we're in 70-degree temperatures in November.
Yeah, well, coming from 80, 90-degree weather in Atlanta in November, it was a welcome relief. So I appreciate it. So we see Wireless Net Pavilion and another same old thing. So that's all 3 same old things for Eric in the bin. So he's got to hope to draw his levy.
Yep. I think he started with 1 in hand, I want to believe, and his opening hand had a levy.
Oh, so it might still just be
so it might still be in there. Yeah, it's still there.
Okay, well, that's good for him.
Yep.
See a hedge fund in Aaron's hand, and I guess we missed probably an agenda install, the other ABT maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
So he's going to be looking to get that out.
Because now Eric, if he runs this, he's going to have to, he'll have enough money to force the Wombat Tour trash too.
Right. Now, interestingly enough, Aaron saw a Cobra, an Architect, and I think another piece of ice on that Architect fire.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I think scoring this ABT puts him past 2 of those pieces of ice. So I think, again, you can't fire it.
So retrieval run probably getting, yep. And
makes sense.
I would anticipate
Quicksand,
Yep, absolutely.
Because then you bypass that strength increase.
Yep, it's totally irrelevant now.
Some guy I know, hint, it's me, is still playing Prepaid Kate for fun, and only running Test Run, Fem,
Scavenge.
Admin, Scavenge.
Wow.
And the ladies.
The combos.
For icebreakers.
Sure.
Yeah.
So eventually you run out of things.
You win before that. It's like that Geist deck I was playing.
Yeah.
You just gotta win before you deck runs the second time.
Almost had it finally stabilized in that legwork.
Well, and I had the legwork sitting in hand for
a long time, I'm sure.
Like 5 turns probably.
Just trying to get enough money.
Yep. So he just draws another advanced assembly line, but he's just going to spend 3 to score the ABT, clearing hack.
So it looks like he's firing here. Oh no.
Why
no.
Oh, that's right, because he Jacksoned.
Yep, so all of it reset. So he got 1 ice and
got an Ichi.
Yep, and I think he got another ABT. But I think he dropped an agenda.
I think it was launch campaign and San City Grid.
Oh, that's right. Yep. So he's okay.
He's okay. He was sad to see that San go.
Right. that he just put back in his deck. But again, I like to think a lot of these HB decks, they do run some kind of recursion out of their hand, so they'll probably be safe to get it back later.
Well, and certainly he's got another Jackson.
Yep. So Eric here looking like he's gonna think about starting the DLR train, using Joshua B here. So I anticipate probably starting next round. We'll start to get going here.
It's a good card. Joshua B.
It's not bad. 5 clicks, pretty good. I mean, ability to tag yourself to DLR.
Really, I just think they named it very well. I might be biased, but I'm pretty sure.
I don't know why that is. It's not many people get their names on cards.
Yeah, well, I talked to the guys the other day, and they said, yeah, we'd heard about you. Anyways. No, I was just thinking that Sansan would actually be pretty good in that scoring server with the Moombad Virtual Tour.
Absolutely. You got to decide, you're thinking maybe that's an agenda down there, so you hit that one first.
And then if you select Moombad Virtual Tour, all of a sudden you can't afford the Sansan anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Hadn't thought of that until just now.
Yep. So, just milling.
DLR, just DLR. When he milled, I think, ironically, 3 pieces of ice, which Aaron would have loved to see.
Well, I think you would really like to see, a biotic, an agenda. Probably be okay. There you go.
There you go.
So, I still think he feels pretty comfortable not having to worry about Siphon.
Wow, interesting. I'm not sure why he didn't.
Archives is kind of a strange location at this point.
Yeah, but I'm also just really interested as to why he didn't drop advanced assembly lines if he wanted to put ice over Archives.
Yeah, it's kind of a. I guess we'll see if this plays out for him. But yeah, I think that's kind of a strange line to play here.
So we've also seen, I think, 2 Deja Vus now in the bin? I think one of them got Chronos.
Yep. So really, he has 1 Siphon left.
Yeah,
all of his
it's one of the last 2 cards.
And all of his same old things are gone.
Okay, he draws a Deja Vu, I think.
Yep. Yeah. So.
I haven't seen the second Siphon.
Maybe he's not. Maybe he's only running 1? I can't imagine.
Either only running 1 or it's the last card.
I can't imagine he's only running 1. That's way too inconsistent in a deck like this. That really relies on you.
There it is. Yeah. Yep. So he draws it and goes
plays it immediately.
Click 3.
Yep. So now, this is click 3. So is he gonna be able to afford to get through that Ichi? He's only sitting on 5 credits.
Yeah.
And 1 click.
I think he may have used the last. He's just got 1 click. Oh, wow. So he's going to take a brain.
So wait, how is he breaking the second?
Fem.
No, because there's 2 trash programs, so he's clicking through 1, right?
So
this
click 3 with Fem for the other.
On the Ichi, so he's got to spend, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 credits.
Yeah, that's 5 credits, so he can't.
Yeah. So maybe it was only click 2? Maybe this is only click 2.
Right. The first draw was the mandatory.
Oh, right. Oh, right, because Max.
Yep. Yeah. So then he draws for click 1, runs for click 2, clicks through both programs.
So tagging a brain. The tag is, oh boy.
And the brain damage hit. I've had worse, which is really just such value because it does not
nothing.
Fire.
It doesn't do anything anyways because he's out of deck.
Oh, that's also true. Yeah, but to brain damage and I've had worse is like the best feeling in the world.
Yep. So looks like he's just letting it go. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he's not going to get any value out of it. So, but that second one there, I think that's good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, you really avoided. Yep. There we go.
So did he not? Oh, he doesn't have any money. Right. That's how that works. I knew that. Don't mind me.
Needs 1 credit. Important card.
Yeah, he's got a hedge fund in hand, so he'll be okay next turn. Yep. Do you hedge fund, or do you just score out the ABT? I think you have to hedge fund.
I think you have to hedge fund. I think having the econ right now, although, Eric really hasn't looked at any pressure anywhere. He's not running archives. He's not running R&D. I don't think Aaron at this point, he's probably thinking there's no way I'm trashing that DLR. So I just kind of went out here quickly. Getting to 5 points puts a lot of pressure on Eric. Then all you need is a biotic to finish out the game. So I think Aaron's in actually a reasonable position. Eric, I think maybe you just try and force the DLR and just, hope that wins you the game. Because I think you're in a position, if you let this 5th point get scored, that really puts you behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, on the other hand, it's a lot of deck left to DLR.
It is.
And I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday on Slack at least, or on Facebook or whatever. Is a DLR deck doesn't mean you're not interacting.
Right.
Because if you don't interact, you're going to lose.
You're going to lose.
Because they'll rush out agendas. And I think that's sort of the thing he has to look at right now, is that he has to interact, because there's too much deck left for him to just sit there and press the DLR button 4 times every turn, 5 times every turn.
And Eric never got to fire DDoS either here too. So I mean, he never got the free opportunity to just run on archives, run on R&D. So I mean, his mills have been not great for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he got his pieces set up, but he hasn't had the ability to follow up with it. Right. Put that pressure on his econ, or even on just generals, servers in general.
And so I think that's why he's taking so long to decide what to do here. So I think he's putting out as much as he can before he levies.
Yep. So here comes the levy.
He'll do it now after the 3rd Fall Guy's down. But he's down to 0 money.
Yep.
So he might actually have to pop in those Fall Guys for credits.
So again, Eric hasn't seemed to really want to run. I wonder if Eric is thinking maybe that extra card there is another Sansan, and Aaron not being on 5 credits, right? So maybe if you hedge fund it, it gives Eric an incentive to run and kind of trash it. Obviously, he doesn't have the econ right now. I mean, he could pop all his Fall Guys, but I feel like that'd be a terrible decision, because that's all of your protection, especially after you just levied. That seems like something you can't do. So, I mean, maybe you can sneak out that hedge fund, knowing that he's not going to have the money to run there next turn, thinking it's the Sansan anyways. It allows you to score out, just straight up, and then you're really, really close to just being able to biotic out your last agenda.
Although with the advanced assembly lines out, if he's got, and he does, he has, for instance, a CBS.
Yep.
He can do that on Eric's turn, putting him at 6 credits. Spend 3 to advance and score. That puts him to 5 points and 3 credits, and then the following turn he can take 2 and the hedge fund still.
Right.
So I think that puts him in a pretty good spot if he does that. We'll see if that's his line of play.
So, but yeah, Aaron actually, not in a bad position, all things considered. Yeah. I think the biggest thing is, as we saw yesterday, account siphon is what really runs this deck. Yeah. Without being able to apply that.
I think we just saw
2 agendas. Yeah, I think he's putting it on the Jackson.
Oh, it looks like a.
What is it?
That I want to say it looked like a Mumba Temple. No, it's a
launch campaign. Launch campaign. Okay.
So that's another way to get money.
So,
although he should have 1 more credit. I guess he maybe didn't do it on Eric's turn.
Although I guess I don't see why you wouldn't. I mean, you do this right before the end of his turn. So,
but yeah, so he'll score.
I don't know if I want to fire this.
Ooh, he does. He hits.
Ooh. I mean, after you just saw 2 agenda mills, I'd feel really uncomfortable.
I mean, that's practically the game in there.
I mean, you could. I mean, your Jackson.
He just milled Jackson.
Yeah.
We just saw
he did.
It.
Yeah.
That's scary, man.
That's pretty risky.
So I guess maybe he's running a lot of ice. Maybe he's running 16.
And I think the architect also really signals, that.
Yeah, there's something in here.
Yep.
Now we don't know what's behind the architect. At least I can't remember what it would be. So that's also going to affect Eric's line of play. But if Eric sees that architect and assumes that there are agendas and archives,
I think that really calls attention that there's something in archives right now.
So does that make it safer for him to just sit there and mill? Because you're like, how's Aaron going to score out if they're in archives now?
I mean, once Aaron gets to 6, then you have to be afraid.
Yeah.
He's sitting on 5.
Well, he's sitting on 5,
yep.
right? Every agenda in that deck is a 2-pointer or more.
Right. Well, he only needs 1 more. He's at 5 points. So yeah, everything. And he basically, assuming he doesn't run a second, he could be running a second furnace. So
yeah,
there's the small chance, but.
Well,
he really wants that Jackson right now. I think he's really definitely digging
Yeah,
for
I think
it.
he's got to draw for it.
Yep. Or if you can draw to that, there's Biotic.
Oh, there's Biotic.
Does he have an agenda in hand? I don't think he had one, though.
No, he doesn't. He has two
No,
Biotics.
yep. An archive would be really good to pull one of those agendas to be able to score next
Okay,
turn
this is
also.
smart. This is smart. He's dropping the CBS in that remote, signaling to Eric that he's ready to score out and come and get it.
Yep.
And Eric's going to have to spend some money and some time going to do that.
Yep, absolutely.
And he doesn't have money right now. So.
I mean, this architect is not insignificant for, it's 4 credits.
Yeah.
It's and Eric doesn't have any right now. So he's got to figure out a way to get in here. So it is going to save him. He's not going to be able to run. So
he's going to look at Aaron's face-ups to see, try and figure out what influence there was, maybe how many copies of what he has left.
Right.
And it looks like 6 or 7 face down, probably more.
I mean, this architect, if Eric lets it fire, could allow him to put the game right on the board.
Yeah.
So, Eric's in a difficult spot here, trying to think of what he wants to do. I mean, it's difficult to make the read either way.
Now he's asking how many face downs.
Or the architect could just allow him to put Jackson, pull all those agendas out.
Yep.
So
I think that's exactly what it would do. So it looks like there are 10 face downs in Aaron's archives.
It's really not a lot for a DLR deck. You're stimulating 15 to 20 cards pretty easily. So.
Right. He just got lucky that he hit, I think,
Those
3
two,
agendas or something.
Yep.
2 or 3 at least.
But, I mean, Eric doesn't have any points, so even if he were to run it right now, he still wouldn't win out.
Yeah. So, it's not a huge deal for Aaron. If Eric does steal those, he has the 2 Biotics in hand. All he needs is the 1 agenda.
Right. I mean, he does have the River Mill, so Jackson isn't an option here,
There you go,
unfortunately. But
and that might be the other thing Eric thought was in the remote.
Right.
So I think Eric trying to make that decision now, trying to decide, do I need to go after this remote?
Right.
I can't afford it, so
what do I do?
He's got 5 clicks with Joshua B, right?
Yep.
So he could take 4 and run the remote.
He could. That's still...
That doesn't get him in, though, does it?
No, because you need 4 and then 1 more. You'd have to let something fire.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
That's right. Fall Guys. Double Fall Guy to get 4 credits.
That's surprising.
He's going to run the remote.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
that's right.
Wow, Aaron really got him there. And he can't even trash it.
That's a spectacular bluff from Aaron.
He does have the scrubber if he wants to trash it, so. But it looks like he let them both. I guess, he doesn't. He doesn't have anything that relies on data on counters anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
It sounded like he said, I can't trash it.
Yep.
But I'm wrong.
Yep. So, Aaron would just really love to draw into an agenda right now.
Yeah, any agenda in Aaron is over the moon.
Yep. So it looks like Eric making a run on R&D. I think he's just trying to control the credits he has. Oh, wow. This is big, whatever this is. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
he can't do anything.
Yeah, Eric does not have the clicks to get through it.
Nope. And he doesn't have the money, which means he has to trash 2 things.
Well, and we know he doesn't have another Koge Breaker.
No.
He's running 1 Black Orchestra, so.
Yep. So he's got to trash 2 installed cards.
So you trash
Scrubber.
the Scrubber.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Really?
Well, the paperclip can come back.
Sure,
so that's
but
fine.
the Fem is surprising. I would have probably just trashed the Scrubber.
And then Aaron's just going to end the run.
Yep.
Certainly.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm amazed he didn't trash the Scrubber.
Yep. I mean, the Scrubber isn't really doing anything here.
I guess his thought maybe is that Fem on that second quicksand is irrelevant.
Right, he's not getting through there at this point with the first one out, I suppose.
So
he's letting
him the brain.
hit. That's interesting. Okay.
The second I've had worse brain damage. Aaron needs to buy a lottery ticket, although he might be about to lose an agenda, in which case don't buy a lottery ticket. I'm really
surprised. Yeah, why you don't just end the run here. So I mean, Eric is on 2 brain damage right now. Wait, I'm confused.
So confused.
What? Did he think that it does both?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask them afterwards.
Okay. Interesting.
But that is, it's not an agenda.
No, it's not an agenda. I think you just, I think you click for credits and sure gamble.
He's got to count. Okay, so there are only 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards
So he's got
left.
like 2 or 3 turns left.
Yeah.
And he's got the Biotic, so really all he needs is, an agenda in hand.
Yeah. Or a Jackson.
Or Jackson, yes. archive memories,
And,
just
well,
something.
And with only 11,
Well,
12
Jackson isn't going
cards
to do anything
left.
because, again, we still have the rumor on the table. It's not going away anytime soon.
That's true.
The only way it's going away is in winning. But I think you have to try and draw into the win here. But it looks like he just made money. I mean, you do need the sure gamble money.
Yeah, I mean, it's a scary decision because if you draw and you don't draw it, there's the other Jackson. So he's not getting anything back.
No
from
agendas,
it.
though. So maybe, nope.
So if you draw, then you run the risk of, if you don't draw it, now he's milling agendas for sure.
Right.
So I think that was the decision he had to make.
So
I think at this point, you absolutely draw for it.
well,
Although he can't afford double biotic.
And you can't draw because you get milled out next turn. I think he's only sitting on 5 cards.
So there are 6 points, it looks like.
So where are the rest of the agendas? Wow. The next, so there's still 8.
2, 3, 4. There are 4 agendas, I think.
Yep. So that still leaves 3 agendas in these last like 5 or 6 cards.
Yeah.
And the problem is if he's only on 6 cards, if he draws, he gets milled out next turn.
Yeah.
He can't afford to double biotic here either.
Well, he
So
draws
this is
the
mandatory, or
Vitruvius.
this was his first draw?
I'm not sure. This has to be his first because he's on 7 cards in hand.
Yep. He's going to come up just, I think he's going to come up just short. He does have the money. He could just go ahead and trash the DLR, I suppose. Because he needs 8 credits to trash it.
Yeah, that's true.
Assuming Eric just doesn't have another one in. Wow. He could have just trashed the DLR here. Right? You go down to 1, but you can still trash it.
Well, so Eric gets a 2-0.
Okay. Huh. Because, he had a gamble in hand. Or no, he would have gone trash DLR,
Yeah, just
trash fall guy. Yep. Wait. And none of his team is noticing it. Did he spend 2 clicks to draw maybe?
Yeah, he needed 1 more credit to be able to double biotic score.
Yep.
On 10 credits, you install to 11.
Yep. But again, he could have just trashed
Yeah,
the
he
DLR.
could have just trashed DLR.
And Eric would have still had to run somewhere in order to install it.
Yeah.
So, huh.
He
Kind of a
must
surprise
not have
decision.
seen it.
No.
His teammates would have seen it. Or he drew twice. We might be wrong.
Right.
Maybe he could have drawn twice.